I've talked a lot about minimalism, but I haven't really gone into digital minimalism. Say that 5 times fast. Here's a blooper of me trying to do that right now. I've talked a lot about minimalism, but I haven't really gone into digital minimalism. So I figured today would be that day. Now you've seen my home screen before if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter about how it's all empty and stuff like that. But I want to kind of show you the rest of my digital life and how empty it is. So let's do that. Starting with the iPad. Look at it. Gorgeous. Face ID that. Boom. Look at it. Everything is so bare and intense. But that's not all. Let's take a look at the Mac. Here is where I'm my most creative self. A digital room of self-reflection and peace. A place of serenity and zen. A place I call home. And when we look at our storage, voila! Less than a 1/4 terabyte was used. So as you can see, my life is very exciting, very energetic. And this is where I draw my inspiration for writing such amazing music and great script ideas and making YouTube. And this is where I get my personality from. I'm just fucking with you. No, none of this is real. Let me show you what it really looks like. I lock it. Boom! There it is. That's my real minimalism. Oh, and the iPad. Wait, let's see if I get this iPad here. It's just a photo, and I edited some stuff. That's my real home screen. Gotcha! It is organized. I got folders and stuff like that. This is a lot more like intricate than my iPhone because I actually use this as my daily driver. I really only use the iMac for the production stuff, all audio and video stuff, like where I'm going to edit this. But all my consumer stuff is done on here. So, and also editing, like my thumbnails and photos and stuff like that, all done on here. I don't use the iMac for any of that stuff. But anyway, this is it. And my phone, although you have seen it, it's just a photo of cherry blossom stuff that I've taken, but there is no second screen, but there is my widgets and stuff like that. So it's all down in there, so all that still pretty much stays the same. But now let's actually talk about the digital minimalism. Everything from the iMac to the iPad to my iPhone to my watch has a purpose. I've already made a video about how the iPad was made for minimalists, so I will put that in the description and put it as a card here, so be sure to take a look at that and check it out if you haven't already. So I'm not actually going to go too much into the iPad specifics for it, but in the whole ecosystem of Apple, it's all one and the same. Everything on my iMac is very cleaned up and very specific because I don't use it for anything but film and music stuff and audio. So to have all this other stuff is not necessary. The stuff that's on my dock are things that I would use daily when I log on to the iMac, which isn't daily. But when I log on, I will kind of go through all of it. And that's honestly pretty much it for the iMac. I don't do anything else with it. With the iPad, as I said, it's my daily consumer. But even the way I have it built out is cleaned up. My most used apps are on my home screen, right here on the front page, which I use to either make thumbnails or if I'm doing a vlog or any other type of video editing that's done on my phone. And all the folders that are on the second page are stuff that I do use when I'm on the iPad. So the thing about iOS that kind of makes it in the more digital minimalist format is that you don't have websites or tabs on a web browser, you have these apps. So everything's kind of organized very specifically to what I use as the essentials. Whether it is my online tools or whether it's my online shopping or my productivity, audio, finance, business, etc., even entertainment stuff. It all serves its purpose right there. I am such a big advocate of spending time off your devices that it's not about not having them, it's about utilizing your time as efficiently as possible. That's also digital minimalism. You're not just gonna fall down these rabbit holes, which I'm guilty of, I've done it too. But I try to take away as much distractions as possible so I can have the cleanest work environment. When I bought the iMac a couple years ago, I bought the smallest storage configuration for SSD on purpose so it can keep me on the path of not going down that rabbit hole of just hoarding data. Problem is I do fill up a lot because my videos are quite big in files, so I've resorted to buying external terabytes of hard drive. But the way I see it is that if I don't see it, out of sight, out of mind, I am more efficient even with my storage. The iPad and the iPhone, a little bit different. I did not opt in to get the smallest configuration for it. Because they are my daily drivers and I do use them a lot and I do film a lot. Things that probably would never make the final cut, or things that maybe I don't want to share with the world and just for me or my immediate circle, it takes up a lot of space on iOS. But even with that said, I got 256 gigs for the iPad and I got 215 gigs available. So I've only used 40 gigs and I try to constantly reduce that. And as of recording this, I have 256 gigs also on my iPhone and I have 225 gigs available, so even more. And then for my iCloud, the thing that's linked between this and that, I pay like $2 or $3 a month, whatever it is, for the 200 gigabyte. That's it. Look at that. Look at it. Not lying. And like 90% of it is my photos and videos. So I try to stay on the path. And I'm not going to lie, it's really hard, but you know, that's the point of digital minimalism. Minimalism as a whole. It's to push our boundaries, to make ourselves uncomfortable, and to work with less so we can appreciate it when we have more. So when I have these bigger configurations on my iPad or iPhone, whether I need it or not, that's my choice. So not only does it feel good to be a minimalist in the physical world, but in the digital world, I would argue it's just as important. Make the most use out of your time. That's the ethos. Because time is the only thing you can't get back. So with that nugget of wisdom that I just dropped, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, subscribe. I put out a video every single week. If you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter. Links will be down in the description below, on the screen here. You know what to do. Until then, guys, I will see you guys later, and bye-bye.